Zach, you had a movie that came out, or you didn't release it, but you had a one that you actually really liked a lot last year.
Yeah.
It's finally out.
Yeah.
People were really loving this movie, which means Variety has to start some BS and talk smack about it. Zach, break down this Late Night with the Devil AI buffoonery.
We talked, I think, briefly about Late Night with the Devil when we saw it at the South by Southwest premiere last year.
Yeah, because we liked it more than Art and
and it wasn't a movie that I think got a lot of hype.
I said it felt like AI, y'all. I want to hear me out, but I was like,
no, you didn't.
No,
Stop.
you did not. I was surprised with the hype it was getting because it felt like a really under the radar small horror movie. But then it gets that 100% in Rotten Tomatoes, and people start talking about it. Now
you saw
that
it made $666,666 on a Friday.
That's some bullshit.
That
but
is
sure,
bullshit.
sure. That's an estimate.
The Guardian, Fox Business.
It's very genuine business reporting.
So
I'm
you're
proud
saying
of
they're
them.
lying a lot, and they
No,
can't blame it on the devil here.
Those Sunday numbers are estimates. It just shouldn't get reported as news like that. It's
They
ridiculous.
just stopped it at 11.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the movie finally comes out, and people realize that there are a couple title screens that are AI generated. It's not a big part of the movie. I think it's like 3 or 4 different screens. Takes up less than 10 seconds of the total runtime. But the director even admitted to it, that the screens were AI generated by the production designers, graphic designers that they had on the movie. And now it's become this big lightning rod point for a lot of people because we're also post the writer's strike and the SAG actors strike, in which AI and the use of AI was this real sticking point. So knowing what we know now, Amanda, for you, does this change your opinions at all about a horror movie that we thought was like pretty inventive and interesting, not amazing, but a pretty good time?
Yeah, it's kind of like disappointing. Like when you read into it, it's like they basically used AI to generate the image, and then like that the artist just modified them. So it's like they were still paying an artist who just used AI. So it's not like someone who couldn't. It's like it's so weird. I don't know why they did it.
Something.
It's weird that they did it, but I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe when they made this movie back in like 2022, that they wouldn't have considered the downsides to this or fully understood what they were necessarily doing. Like if you just genuinely don't understand that, like generative AI versus the learning AI is different. And then
there's some people who don't know how to spell AI.
Yeah, like it's just kind. I can see the distinction there, and then like maybe once you learn, I haven't looked too deep into what their reaction has been since it, and like if they've been like apologetic and it's like it's not something we'll do again. Now that we know that it is just taking from other existing art from real artists, we won't do it again. But like I will give them the benefit of the doubt for having 3 the AI images as transition scenes in a movie that overall was like really unique, really interestingly filmed. I don't know if it fully stuck the landing, but it was like super, like very riveting while watching it. I was so engaged. I was so into this movie while I was watching it. And it sucks to just kind of like discount the work of a bunch of people. I totally get saying this isn't okay. We're not going to be okay with this going forward. But to just treat this like, I feel like they're going harder on this movie than they were on the AI intro for fucking that Marvel show.
Marvel show,
and I know a lot of people did go hard on it, but a lot of the Secret Invasion, a lot of people did watch the show anyway while complaining about it. And like Marvel has no fucking excuse for that behavior.
Nope.
So it just feels weird that this is the one you really want to pick your fight with. I get that there seems to be some weird stuff going on with this one in terms of the marketing. It's been in my like trending for like 2 weeks. So it's like very, I don't know what's going on with it. And maybe that's why they're trying to knock it down. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with this movie in particular, but I still think it's an
Devil's
interesting...
got a good marketing budget.
You think he does? I still think it's an interesting movie. I can understand if you don't want to pay for it in theaters, if that's not a thing you want to do. But like, if it's on streaming eventually, like I just, give it a watch. It's like, it's unique, it's interesting. And it's like the kind of movie that you're like, wow, this is such a cool, fresh idea. And that's kind of what makes it so depressing that people are just it's saying that it just took things, which it did, because we're not denying that, they've admitted it, but just I don't know, it feels weird.
Yeah, I mean,
they're from Australia. You're not attacking Hollywood by attacking this
everything's
movie.
Everything's upside down over there.
They have IA over there. But I think like they're doing the cause that they think they're protecting. They come off like the South by protesters wearing Nikes. Like you think you're doing something more so for the show of it, and not necessarily like this isn't the movie that's going to destroy this AI thing that you're thinking of.
No.
I think a fascinating one I've seen is people do these loops on like, all AI is scary, and I don't think we understand AI fully. There's stuff to critique, there's stuff not to. But this idea that if you did AI prior to the strikes, then you're okay, is some mental Olympics that is happening on what period in time? Like what? That makes no. Oh, well, he committed the crime before it was a law. It's like, nah, that's really weird, and it shows me that people don't really believe in the morality or whatever issues that they have with AI. They just agree with the like, we all have to post something about it.
Yeah, to me, the distinction really is just more the understanding. If they knew what they were doing when they were doing it, that fucking sucks, and I probably wouldn't want to support their work. But if they were just kind of like, I thought it was just making things up. I didn't actually know it was stealing other pieces of art. Or if it's just the artist who decided they wanted to experiment with it and then draw over it, that sucks, and again is worthy of being called out, but is not necessarily worth just shutting this piece of media out entirely forever.
Because I can help with jobs is still losing their jobs. Like what?
Because I can talk about my own personal experience and just like not necessarily knowing from the start that generative AI is based on all these like stolen copyright material, right? Like you hear AI and you think it is this like this original creation or whatever of the computer, but that's not how these machines work. And as I think we've all come to have a better understanding of it, we've all gotten a better idea of the ways in which it is, like robbing people of jobs and stuff like that. But as we mentioned, like this is not really robbing people of jobs, and this was sort of happening before. I think a lot of the discussion points around this, like, were as widely talked about. I don't know. I would hope that they would consider maybe just like replacing it on the home video release, especially because it is such a small element of this movie.
Roll out, it's a digital copy. Just roll out a new digital link for people to click to press play in the theater.
Y'all got that money.
They did it for everything. I don't even know if that takes money. That's just like, sorry, here's the updated
they still
file.
Gotta distribute it a bit, but they're making money. Like they've got a budget. They've got the movie out there. It doesn't hurt it when this press might be hurting your movie to make a change. Yeah, but hey, it is out in theaters if you are curious to add to that 666.